Alright, over the past few videos, we've learned how applying cell formatting makes it easier to read our data. And for this video, I want to introduce to you conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is just another way for us to visualize our data and make our worksheets easier to understand. Currently, we only have about 5 rows of data, but if we had thousands of rows of data, it would be extremely difficult to see patterns and trends just examining the raw information. The special thing about conditional formatting is that it allows us to automatically apply formatting to one or more cells based on a cell value. For example, let's take a look at our percent of total column. Let's say we want to flag cells that are greater than 25%, so we can easily see which expenses are taking up most of our total. So to apply conditional formatting, the first thing we need to do is select the range of cells that we want to apply the format to. And then we're going to go to the Home tab, and within the Styles group, we can click Conditional Formatting. And within this dropdown, there are many different rules that we can choose from to tell Excel when to apply the format that we want. And for this example, we want to tell Excel to highlight a cell if our percent of total is greater than 25%. So I'm going to go down to Highlight Cell Rules and select Greater Than. And for the first box, Format cells that are greater than, I'm going to type in 25%. And currently the format is light red fill with dark red text, and we can see that up here. I'm going to select this drop down, go to Custom Format, select the fill. I'm going to select more colors, and I'm going to select this light red. Click OK, and click OK once again. One more time. Now the cells that are greater than 25% are filled with a red background color. So when we're looking at this report, we can automatically see that cost of goods sold and rent is well over 25%, and it just draws our eyes directly to those expenses because we know that, hey, these expenses are taking up most of our total. And to get some more practice in, let's do another rule where it highlights a cell with a green color if it's less than 10% of the total. So once again, we're going to select the cells that we want to apply a rule to, go up to Conditional Formatting. We could select Highlight Cell Rules again and select Less Than, but I also want to show you a different option so you can just get used to working inside the conditional formatting rules. So this time we're going to go down and select New Rule. And now we have a list of all these different rules that we can choose from, but I'm going to select Use a Formula to determine which cells to format. And down here in this formula bar, format values where this formula is true. I'm going to select the first cell of our selection, then type less than and equal to 10%. And right now we have no format set, so I'm going to select Format and give it a green fill color. Click OK, and OK once more. Well, we can definitely see that our supplies and utilities is less than 10%, but the green fill color did not get applied. So let's see what happened there. I'm going to go back up to Conditional Formatting and select Manage Rules. Currently it says Show Formatting Rules for Current Selection. I'm going to change this to Show Rules for this entire worksheet, just in case we don't leave out any rules. I wanted to show you this method as well, because sometimes applying cell formatting rules might not be as simple as the predefined rules Excel provides for us, such as the first one when we did cell value is greater than 25%. There's going to be a lot of cases where you're going to need to use a formula to format a cell. And in our formula, it says that G4 is less than or equal to 10%. And it's applied to our whole range, which is the percent of total column. Well, to fix this, this goes back to when we talked about relative versus absolute cell references. Because currently in our formula, G4 is an absolute reference. So when it gets filled down to the rest of the cells, G4 is remaining constant. And right now G4 is 38%, so it's not less than 10%. That's why none of the cells got applied a green fill color. So we need to edit this formula just a tad. So we're going to select our rule, click Edit Rule, and instead of G4 being an absolute reference, we're going to change it to a relative reference. And if we click OK, and OK once more, now our cells that are less than 10% are formatted with a green fill color. And the great thing about conditional formatting is that it automatically updates if your values change. For example, if I go to supplies and I just put in $3,000, it should go over the 10% of the total. And now our percent of total supplies went from a green fill color to a red fill color. I'm going to undo that action, go back to our original amounts, and once again, it changed. So you can see how conditional formatting is a very powerful tool to help us visualize our data and make it easier to understand, because it helps draw users' attention to values that are very important to our data.